go, yes. Un counter attack. No.
I'm very happy to be here with you.
My pleasure.
Why are we here actually? What's the meaning of this?
First of all, I think we enjoy being together.
That's for sure.
We're here to talk about the code of ethics of KMG. Krav Maga is a weapon. Krav Maga is a tool. Krav Maga is a system. It has to be considered as such. So one should use it for the good. One should use it for the self-protection, the self-defense. One should use it for assisting others, not for harming other people, not for only safe gain. Krav Maga is also for self-development. Conquering yourself, conquering your desires, your angers. How do we walk in life? So these are tools that are, Krav Maga is giving us tools. So the moment we have the correct code of ethics, we are going in the correct way. Im used to say, we wish to educate the people to be good citizens.
If I would like to clarify to the public, what are the actual fundamentals of Krav Maga? What will be your answer for that?
There are really three fundamental components for Krav Maga. The first is self-defense. By the way, in the beginning of Krav Maga, it was not self-defense. It was a tool for war. It was for soldiers. But these days, in the way Krav Maga was developed, the first is self-defense. Here, really, the idea is self-preservation. Don't get hurt. Rule number one, he used to say. Here, the idea is not to be involved in a violent confrontation. If we can avoid, de-escalate, prevent, move away from danger, excellent. Naturally, if we cannot, then we will have to defend ourselves and to do what we need to do, no rules, as we said before, in order to overcome the situation, to overcome this type of conflict, and then to continue forward. And after this confrontation is partly over, then we've got the post-fight. What to do after? Meaning, should I go and equip myself with something for the next phase of the confrontation? Or should I run away from the danger zone? Should I remove myself from any dangerous area? Should I go and assist somebody else? Should I go to my car? Should I collect my equipment or whatever? So here the idea is do as little as possible. Of course, do the maximum within the minimum, meaning do whatever you need in order to reach your goals. And the goals, self-defense, self-preservation, not to get hurt. The second component of Krav Maga is defending other people. It was not in the beginning of the system, but definitely within the years, we saw the necessity of it, defending others. Initially, Krav Maga was developed for the soldiers, so defending the country. But now it is very much about defending others also. In our curriculum, KMG curriculum, we have in different levels, different grades, how to defend other people. Meaning, don't let people get hurt. And here we've got two lines. One is the line of going and attacking the attacker or more protecting of the dear one. The idea is to defend my fellow friend, my family member. Sometimes I'm professional with the VIP protection field. So defending others so others will not get hurt. And with this, many times it is contradicting self-defense. So if I've got the duty to defend other people, it may automatically jeopardizing my own safety. So in this line, sometimes people will sacrifice themselves in order so other people will not get hurt, will prevail, will live. So this is the second component of Krav Maga. And the third component of Krav Maga is fighting spirit and fighting skills. It's really about the tactics, the techniques, the training methods about fighting. There are different families of techniques and tactics, different ways of promoting the ability of the fighter, of the warrior, mentally, physically, technically, and tactically, how to handle the fight. And of course, there are some integration, some overlapping between the fight and the self-defense and the third-party protection. There are things that are mutual for all, but there are definitely lines and sections that are unique for each and every part of it. In the fight, the goal is to win, to cause damage to the opponent, and to suffer minimum damage for myself. So maximum damage to the enemy, minimum damage to myself. The fight should end with winning. Sometimes winning without the physical confrontation, as we talked before, but it is about winning. It's about finishing the ability of the other side to continue, physically or mentally.
Okay, I relate to everything you say, but as being a martial artist for a long time and your student in the past, usually one of the questions that arise is about violence. A system which is so effective like Krav Maga, how will you implement non-violence there?
One of the main rules for us is non-violence. And in the non-violence, we mean that you should use your forces in order to avoid conflicts, in order not to hurt other people. Of course, Krav Maga is a lot about dealing with violent confrontations. So sometimes it is violence against violence. But the main thing is not to use as little as possible as violence. In the Israeli army, there is something called purity of arms. Meaning you've got tools, you've got weapons. It has to be pure, not to hurt other people who are innocent. Not to use weapons in order to inflict your powers on other people, but to reserve them, to control yourself.
Okay, in the past we used to talk, and one of the things I've heard from you is about the intention behind the act. Can you elaborate this?
Sure. If I'm violent, why am I violent? Or if I'm non-violent, why? So if my intention is to hurt other people, if my intention is to destroy the other person, then why am I doing this? Is it a response to a violent confrontation? Or is it something that I would like to gain with it, some advantage on another person, to manipulate other people, to put them under pressure? So the intention should be, for us, is I want to protect myself and others. In non-violence, there's a question, what are your motives?
Yeah.
Motives are anger, motives are frustration.
Or duty.
Duty. Do you need to defend yourself? Do you need to protect yourself, which is definitely a commandment? Do you need to protect other people? Or are you using it for your self-gain, your violence, I mean? So non-violent also, first of all, is internal, because these are the motives. If we take a soldier in the battlefield, he pulls the trigger, he kills somebody. He can get a medal for this. If the same soldier with a similar weapon is doing something similar in a pub or in the city, with another motive completely, he will be in jail. So the motive here plays a huge role.
Yeah, let's talk about being humble. Like becoming humble in the martial art is something everyone talks about, but rarely I actually see it.
Indeed.
Can you elaborate or talk
Yes,
about
a lot of
that?
many alpha males in the martial arts, yes. One of the main things Im used to say is to be humble. And if we go from the non-violence of controlling yourself, minimizing your ego, the next immediate thing is that you are more humble.
Wow, yeah.
Definitely. If you are humble, then you've got less conflicts in life. If you're humble, you can hear other people, you can learn from other people, you can accept teaching from other people, you can accept opinion from other people. If you are humble, if somebody swears at you in the street, just ignore him. You don't have to go and fight him. Just, I don't care.
One of the things I've been seeing, and we talked about this in the past as well, that many of the students, they truly want to be masters very fast. So does this have a connection between being a student to being humble, to conquering yourself? Is there any connection?
The moment you are a student, you understand that the knowledge comes from other people. The knowledge comes from the instructor. He's the one that is teaching you. And the experience that you are acquiring is from training with another person, which then you fail and progress. The more you fail, the more you can progress. Being a student is the first thing to becoming a teacher, to becoming a master eventually.
There is a saying in the Japanese culture, to become a student means 3,000 days of actual practice. This brings you to a stage of a beginner.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to advance and become a master, this means 10,000 days of actual practice.
Yes. This means many years of being under control, controlling yourself, being monitored, getting corrections. I'll tell you an incident. I was teaching a group of instructors and expert levels. Imi was sitting by the side. He saw exactly the angle of my defense. It was defending a kick. And he said, no, it's not good enough. In front of like 30, 40 group of people, he said to me, no, do again. And again, and again. So I'm the instructor, sitting in front, standing in front of other people, and he's telling me, no, do it again. I think it happened like 20 times until he was satisfied with my performances. I didn't think about, oh, he's humiliating me. I didn't think about, I've got a problem with what he's saying. What I was concentrating on was just to be better. So he taught me definitely the best lesson at that moment of to be humble. So he was pressing my ego a lot in that sense.
That's good.
Yes. So I think these are the first steps of becoming an instructor, becoming an expert, becoming a master, being in the footsteps of the lines of the teachers. That's very important.
In such a practical fighting system, how do you deal with injuries?
We have in Krav Maga two related rules. One, don't get hurt. And the other one is be so good so you don't need to kill. Not to get hurt, it means self-preservation, self-protection. And this is in two lines. One, in the line of reality. First of all, Krav Maga is about reality, and everything's about life and death. So first of all, not to get hurt, meaning we should supply the student, ourselves first of all, with the best techniques, with the best approach, with the best tactics, not to get injured, not to get hurt in the street. Then not to get hurt in training. So I should control myself, monitor myself, especially my angers, my frustration, not to hurt my partner on one hand, to control myself, to hold the punch. My partner is giving me his body to use, really, so I'll get better. So must not hurt the partner. Also, must train smart in the best and most sophisticated way, not to hurt myself. To smash myself on a brick, this is not the idea, of course. So not to hurt myself in training, not to hurt myself in reality. These are the two things. And then about be so good, not to kill. So again, Krav Maga is about life and death. And if you use Krav Maga, you must use it correctly. Not to do too much, not to do too much damage, to be in the maximum level of control and to choose the right aspect and the right technique and the right answer so the other side will suffer minimum damage. The moment the other side suffers minimum damage, then I did the the minimum in order to preserve myself, protect others, whatever I need to do.
So in the early days when I used to train Krav Maga, one of the things I kept hearing is that there's actually no rules. Can you elaborate or explain this?
Yes. You are a master of Kyokushin, and you have got competitions. Competitions definitely need to be according to certain rules. This brings people to high level in specific line. In Krav Maga, we cannot choose a specific line, naturally, because in reality, in the street, anything can be. Any type of confrontation can happen. It can be in small confined areas, and it can be in the beach or in the water, it can be in the staircase, it can be inside the car. So to protect myself, for the means of self-defense and defending others, I must use all tools, all techniques to prevail. Naturally, and that was one of Imi's points, and I'm sure you have heard it also, act as you can, but act correctly. So, of course, sometimes I can cause a lot of damage. This means naturally to do the correct thing in the correct time and place. At every situation, you should do the best solution. So there's no rules, you can do whatever. However, if you think about it, everything is about life and death, and also not to be in front of the judge, not to go to jail is also to preserve yourself, and also about self-defense. So you should do the minimum in order to save yourself, connected with the previous point that we talked about. If there are no rules, it doesn't mean that I can do whatever I want. It doesn't mean that I can destroy who is in front of me. And there's an issue here, very important to understand. What does it mean to win? To win in Krav Maga, to win in confrontation, there's an important issue here. And also winning in training. If we look at reality, so in reality it is always win or lose. Even if I did not fight at all, even if there's no physical confrontation, there should be a win and lose, meaning winning for me is I reach my goals. And if my goal is not to fight, and that's usually my goal in self-defense, definitely I reach my goal, I won. Win and lose, I don't want to lose in reality. In reality, I want to win. I want to stop the attacker from continuing. And in this case, winning means two things, one of the two. One is attacker cannot, and the other one doesn't want to attack. So if the attacker cannot attack, meaning he's broken physically, I physically destroyed his abilities to continue. The other issue is mentally broken. He surrendered, he gave up, he ran away. He said, don't attack me anymore. This is type of course, a winning. So from our point of view in Krav Maga, we need to win the confrontation. Win this violent incident. Even if, again, without hurting anyone, without physical confrontation, if I can threaten him, if I can behave like a crazy person, if I can drool even, and he will not attack me, and he will not get close to me, excellent, I did my job. Winning in self-defense and winning in a fight is completely different things. You know very well in the competition that you guys are doing, winning is very specific. Knock down, knock out, get some points, this is winning. For us, winning in a fight is causing maximum damage to the opponent. It's a fight, not self-defense. Winning means maximum damage to the opponent, minimum damage to me. So the goal is to destroy the other side. Physically, mentally, whatever we choose. But that's the idea. In training, it is not like this. In training, when we train together, what is the end? I got better, you got better. That is training. So in training, it is winning-winning. In the training, it's win-win situation. In the fight, it's win-lose situation. Here, we're in the win-win situation. And most of us, most of the time, most of the days, we are really doing win-win because we're just training together. We are preparing for the win-lose, but all the time we are doing win-win and we are controlling ourselves. So that's the first winning.
So another issue that many times I've been hearing, of course through the Eastern way of thinking, is about respect.